Hello students, welcome to e-learning. We are continuing with the same chapter, chapter 5, that is cost of production and concept of revenue. This is our ninth lecture. We are learning about short run periods. In that we have studied about the fixed cost, variable cost, average fixed cost, total cost we have studied, and today we are going to learn about average variable cost. Same like average fixed cost, we are going to learn about average variable cost, but the concept of variable cost will be applied here. If you have remember the variable cost, how it has been working up, the same concept will be there, but here only the average is being taken. So what does the average mean? Average is nothing but we can say per unit what will be the variable cost we are going to measure. So let's start with our average variable cost, and it's an interesting topic too. So average variable cost is nothing the total variable cost of a firm divided by total products, or we can say total unit produced, we can get average variable cost. Ultimately जो total variable है उसको total production के साथ divide कर दो, you will get average variable, that is per unit average variable cost. Average variable cost is also the variable cost per unit of output. उसको क्या बोलेंगे? Variable cost per unit of output भी बोल सकते हैं. Now this concept is useful for taking decision regarding continuing the production, increasing the production or closing down to find out this cost. ये डिसीजन क्यों लेना चाहता है? वी कैन से व्हाई देयर इज अ डिसीजन टेकन फॉर दिस, बिकॉज many of the producer, or we can say all the producers think what is the, we can say the variable cost. हमारा फिक्स कॉस्ट तो फिक्स रहेगा, लेकिन वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कितना होना चाहिए, कितना रहेगा, बिकॉज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज डायरेक्ट और मेन कॉस्ट. इफ यू रिमेंबर द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, हमने जो मीनिंग पढ़ा था वेरिएबल कॉस्ट में, उसको क्या बोलते थे? मेन कॉस्ट, और वी कैन से डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. व्हाई? because this is the actual cost of the product, how it, what, in how much money or how much time and how much money the product has been produced, and how much quantity can be produced with the that particular amount. With a different combination of price we have units, different costing of price has been given up. तो यही हमको पता चलेगा कि पर यूनिट हमको कितने रुपए में एक प्रोडक्ट बनेगा. सो फॉर दैट तो प्रोडक्शन कितना करना चाहिए, कितने बेसिस पे करना चाहिए, डेली बेसिस, ईयरली बेसिस, मंथली बेसिस, वीकली बेसिस पे कितना प्रोडक्शन करना चाहिए, एट व्हाट प्राइस विल बी सुटेबल इन द मार्केट, और हमारा प्रोडक्ट सेल होगा. सो फॉर द प्रोड्यूसर point of view, it is a very important point where how much product can be produced. It should increase, we should increase the production, we should decrease the production, or closing. So as a particular we can say point of time, with the producer's point of view, it is a very important topic. Now for that, to find this average variable cost, the, we can say the formula is like this: average cost, sorry, average variable cost, not average cost, but average variable cost will be total variable cost upon the total production, where you find that average AVC will be average variable cost, TVC, that is total variable cost, and lastly TP, that is total production. Okay, remember here average cost will not come, average variable cost equals to total variable cost upon total production. Clear? Then you find that to understand it very again better way, we have the table here. Now the variable cost table has been taken up, only one column has been added, that is average. Now here the output has been taken up, that is we can say output, or we can say production, which is done in units, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, till 70 it's going up. So at rupees at production of 10 units, you find that variable cost is 80. At production of 20 units, you find production variable cost in rupees is nothing, we can say 150. When 10 more is been increased, you find it is 210. Again 10 more is increased, when a unit becomes 40, you find 290 is the total variable cost. When increased to 10 more, that is 40 plus 10, 50, it becomes 390. Then comes, we can say again 10 more, 60 it has been there, it is 570, it is 620. So this is the variable cost which is fine. So the we can say the major rule of the variable cost, that as the production increases, the variable cost also increases. So with the increase in production, cost also increases, which we find it has been fulfilled here. Again, what does the average says? Average says that this second column, that is total variable cost, should be divided by the first column, that is the total output. So 80 divided by 10, 8. सो वेरिएबल और एवरेज वेरिएबल पर यूनिट, मतलब पर प्रोडक्शन हमने जब 10 यूनिट प्रोड्यूस किया था, तो पर प्रोडक्ट हमको 8 रुपीज़ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट मिले. व्हेन इट इज़ बिन 20 यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एंड द कॉस्ट इज़ 150, सो 150 डिवाइड बाई 20 इट इज़ 7.5. सो 7.5 रुपये हमको एक यूनिट प्रोडक्ट मिला. देन आफ्टर व्हेन इट कम्स टू इंक्रीज इन प्रोडक्शन, तो कॉस्ट भी इंक्रीज हो रहा है, लेट इज 30. So at 30 you find that 210 is the total variable cost. So 210 divided by 30, it is 7. So what we find here, that is, as the production increase, total variable cost is also increasing but at the diminishing rate. कैसे पता चला? यहाँ पे देखो एवरेज में पहले 8 रुपीज़ में एक यूनिट बना था, उसके बाद 7.5 रुपीज़ यूनिट when it production becomes 20. Again when production becomes 30, it become 7 rupees. So ultimately we find that it was increasing with the increasing at a decreasing rate or diminishing rate, which is the main concept of variable cost. But when after 30 units 10 more is been produced, that is at point at production 40, you find that variable cost is 290. 290 is the variable cost. उसको डिवाइड करेंगे 40 यूनिट्स के साथ तो एवरेज मिलेगा. एवरेज कितना आया? 7.25. सो प्रायर दैट इज एट यूनिट 30 7 रुपीज़ हमारा कॉस्ट था, लेकिन अभी जब 10 बढ़ा दिए तो हमारा वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी बढ़ गया, दैट इज 7.25. सो नाउ it was again fulfill the second point, that with the increase in production at a nominal time, now it will not go with diminishing rate, it will go with increasing rate. Yes, diminishing return or diminishing return नहीं जाएगा हमारा, कहाँ पे जाएगा? इंक्रीजिंग रेट पे जाएगा. सो विद द यूनिट प्रोडक्शन 40 हो गया तो 7.5 हो गया. नाउ 50, नाउ द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज 390. सो 390 डिवाइड बाई 50, इट इज 7.8. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग अप? From 7.25 it increased to 7.8 per unit variable cost बढ़ गया. Again when it comes to 60, you find that 500 is the total variable cost. Divide 500 divide by 60, the average will be 8.33 or 8.33 you find. Again 60 को साथ again 10 more units are been produced, you find that 70 it became. Now the total variable cost is 620. 620 divided by 70, you find 8.85. So why here we find that the prior it was 8 rupees and at production of 70 you find 8.85. when comes from 30 unit, it was the minimum, that is 7, you find that. So at particular point of time there is an increase in the variable cost with the diminishing return, and after certain unit you find that it increases with the increasing return, or we can say increasing rate. So usko pura dekhne ke liye we have made a diagram, and the diagram of average variable cost, which can be seen here like this. So here we find that here we find on the x-axis output is been taken up. Here on the y-axis you find that the variable cost in rupees is been taken up. Now what is the scale is nothing. 2 centimeter equals to 10 units on the x-axis, and we find that 1 centimeter equals to 1 rupee on the variable cost, because we are going to measure this average वेरिएबल. ओके, सो ये मेजर कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे जैसे देखो 10 यूनिट्स पे 8 इज देयर, दैट इज एट पॉइंट ए. एट 20 यूनिट्स, so at 20 units of production you find that it is 7.5, it is below there. Again at 30 units it becomes the minimum, तो 30 पे हमारा आ गया point C. Then it comes to 40, it is point D, you find that 7.25. 50 you find that at 50 unit here the point E shows us 7.8. At 60 units of production you find it is 8.33, above 8. At 70 you find that it is going 8.85, so it is below 9, you find that. So this is what you find, that there is a curve which is showing you like this. Exactly मैंने नहीं बनाया, लेकिन थोड़ा ऐसे बनाया. So ये पूरा ऐसे नाइकी का सिंबल दिख रहा है. If you see it is like looking like this. Yes. So हमको we find that at a particular point of time when there is an increase in production it becomes minimum, but after that it goes on increasing with the increasing rate. So it shows a symbol to us just like Nike, or we can say just like Nike, like this. So here average variable cost is been fulfilled with the variable cost formula also, and you find that in average also you find that it is going at the minimum, and then after it is increasing with the increasing return. So here this is what you find, this has been taken. Here 3 points are important. As output increases average variable cost also increases. जैसे हमारा increase in production होगा तो variable cost भी increase होगा, और average variable भी increase होगा. Initially starting में, initially means in the starting with the increase in production average variable cost decreases. जो हमारा ये 8 है, 7.5 है, 7, it has decreased. Then it becomes minimum, that is at at unit production 30 it becomes the minimum, that is at point C in the diagram. Now after that with the increase in production average variable cost also increase. जैसे यहाँ पे 30 से production 10 बढ़ता जा रहा है, you find that our average variable cost also increasing. that is 7 से because 7.25, 7.8, 8.33, 8.85, it has been increasing. So you find that that is this Nike symbol which has been forming little bit like right single, we can say sign has been forming on the average variable cost. So it means that the relation with the volume of production has been there. So we find that average variable cost has a relation with whom? With the total production. जैसे variable cost का था वैसे average variable cost का भी है. So here we find that this fulfills, it is all about the average variable cost is depending on the total volume of production. When it increases, the average variable cost also increases. First it decreases with the diminishing return, and then after it increasing with the increasing rate. Now the analysis says here nothing, that in the diagram output has been shown on the x-axis, average variable cost is shown on the y-axis. In the diagram here you find that average variable cost move from where? From left to right, upward to downward means negative slope. पहले ऊपर से नीचे आता है तो वो negative slope बोलेंगे. Then which indicates it's the beginning, output increases, average variable decrease. मतलब जब ऊपर से नीचे आ रहा है तो हम क्या सोचेंगे? It is going downward. Downward जा रहा है तो negative आया. Now after that when it is coming negative, it shows that कि starting में जैसे जैसे output increase हो रहा है हमारा variable cost कम होते जा रहा है. That is at, we can say, at the production 30. So but after the production of 30 units, average variable cost is increasing. After 30 मतलब 40, 50, 60, 70, we find that it shows upward direction, means from downward to upward direction, moving from left to right. So that becomes a positive slope curve, because in the beginning increasing return to the scale and after that decreasing return to scale may be applied. तो पहले ये दोनों चीज अप्लाई होती थी, पहले डिक्रीजिंग रिटर्न हो रहा था, बाद में इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न हो रहा है. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग अप इन एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. आई होप यू हैव बीन क्लियर. ये डिक्रीजिंग रिटर्न टू स्केल एंड इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न टू स्केल में कंफ्यूज ना हो. इट इज ओनली सिंपल वर्ड दे आर टेलिंग, दैट इज we find that initially when the production increase, average variable cost also increases with the diminishing rate, and average variable cost also increase with the diminishing rate. Then you find that average variable cost with the diminishing rate. Then after at point 30 at unit production, after 30 units you find that variable cost increases at the increasing rate, and average variable cost also increases with the increasing rate. So उसको बोलेंगे increasing return to the scale, and decreasing return to the scale किसको बोलेंगे? जब वो कम हो रहा था, नेगेटिव स्लोपिंग हो रहा था, उसको डिक्रीजिंग रिटर्न बोलेंगे. एंड 30 यूनिट्स के बाद जब वो इंक्रीज हो रहा है उसको इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न बोलेंगे. दैट इज द सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट विच यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. आई होप यू आर बीइंग क्लियर. So this is what all is about the average variable cost. I hope you are being clear, you are getting understood. Many of you have not watched the previous videos. Please watch it and learn it carefully. Make all the diagrams and notes. You need to come for checking after every 15 days as it has been instructed by the madam. So go with that. When you're coming, just go with bringing all your notebooks which you're having up. Complete your notes regularly on time so it will not become a burden for you. Apart from it, thank you. If you have doubt, you can just call or message me.